You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. Be sure to smash that like button. I'm not sure what you realistically expected. LSU had 38 scholarship players and 4 coaches remaining from the 2021 coaching staff. It was a mess. There are some Kansas State people who have said, yeah, well, even your backups are 4 and 5 stars. Hey, slow down there, Chief. There was a receiver playing quarterback. You had walk-ons starting this football game. There's a reason you're allowed 85. Last year with COVID, you had to have 53. They had 38. What did you think was going to happen? The line climbed all the way to 10. It was going to look exactly like it did. You had a team with a coaching staff, a full roster, that was motivated to play in the game because of the logo on the helmet opposite them, and an LSU team that was in shambles. Of course it was going to go that way. The truth is, LSU should not have played that game. 38 players. There was no benefit to come from that. They should not have played the game. And I know Brad Davis and some of the players talked about it, and we're going to get to that in a second. But they should not have played that game. A similar truth is that the embarrassment of what happened in Houston last night should also fuel everyone on that team. And actually, in his post-game locker room message to the team, which LSU did post on all of its social media, Brad Davis said the exact same thing.
The best
Remember this feeling, guys. You understand me? Remember this feeling. We get ready to go through winter conditioning training. You let them fuel you to be better. You guys understand that? We don't ever let people push us around. And that's the last time that ever going to happen. Everybody clear on that?
We don't ever let it fuel you. We don't ever let people push us around. And it's the last time that's going to happen. Hope he's right. Brian Kelly should have a lot to say about that with him coming forward. Now, there is some stuff about the game that we'll delve into here. Afterwards, I'll give you some observations from the game. There's not a ton to say about it, though. Brad Davis was asked in his media availability, in hindsight, was it the right decision to go forward and play this game?
Absolutely. You know, there's 10 seniors in our locker room that all wanted to play. And we would not cheat them out of an opportunity to play. We don't back down from a challenge. That ain't who we are. That ain't what we stand for at LSU. We were going to play this game. You know what I mean? It's important for us. Every opportunity we get to compete, every opportunity we get to go represent our brand, we're going to take advantage of it. And so, no, there was never a thought in our mind of not competing or playing. We expected to win this game.
And what do you expect him to say? Yeah, well, we probably shouldn't have played it. We thought we were going to lose. I mean, of course, he said what you'd expect he'd say. After the game, Jontre Kirklin, who, I have the utmost respect for Jontre Kirklin for what he did yesterday. As a senior, taking that role, not just playing, but playing a position he hadn't played in 5 years, and going out there and giving it his absolute best. Kirklin was basically asked the same thing about playing with limited numbers.
Shoot. We fighting Tigers, man. We ain't about to back down from nobody. It don't matter if we don't have. If we got 11, we go and play. That's our mindset. If we got 11, we go and play.
And I understand why fans love that, and I want that. I want that in players. You want players that want to play, that want to be out there. Absolutely. But sometimes, it's parents' jobs to protect their kids from themselves and their youthful ignorance. Similar here. This game should not have been played. And I know there's LSU fans that are saying, well, look, A&M backed out and UCLA backed out of their bowl game. They made the right decision. Because last night was a disaster. Ask yourself this, what did it accomplish? And I know there's some saying, well, look, you take pride in not backing down, and you got to learn lessons in life and take your L's and your lumps, and that's true. I mean, if you start a business and you give it your all and your business fails, okay, but you had a full deck, and it just didn't work out. I mean, there's a lot of times where you go into games and you're a big underdog, and you know it's probably not going to go your way, but you got a full roster, you go give it your all, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. this is one of those where you were fighting this not with one arm, but one arm and one leg tied behind your back. And I don't know what good came of playing that game last night. Kudos to Jontre Kirklin. It was awesome to see him get out there and run around and spin it. Equally disappointing seeing guys on the sideline not playing like Garrett Nussmeier, but I understand it. I understand Nussmeier's decision. We'll talk about that a little bit more later. Was a little disappointed in the offensive line. I mean, I thought because you had all your starters and Corey Kiner and Jontre Kirklin, maybe you'd have more of a running threat in that ball game. It just didn't really materialize at all. But then again, how can you expect 5 or 6 to block 8 or 9, which is basically what LSU was tasked with doing because Kansas State crowded the box, knowing that LSU wasn't likely to throw the ball. They only attempted 11 passes in the ball game, so it's kind of about what you expected. Really disappointed in Jake Peetz. You had a month to prepare for this game, knowing Jontre Kirklin was going to be your guy. I thought they'd have some wrinkles that would at least catch Kansas State off guard and make them adjust mid-game. Never really happened, but again, Peetz isn't going to be back, so does it really matter? How about Chris Hilton, the big 81-yarder at the end of the game, the walk-off? The thing about Chris Hilton is, came in so highly recruited. The sort of the book on him is that elite physical talent, no question. I mean, you see the blazing track speed, top end, blow the top off the defense. Needs to become a little more polished as a route runner, route tree, all that stuff, and that'll come in time. But you can see the raw goods there, which is exciting to have that guy who can take the top off a defense. What a way to end it. Final play of the season, an 81-yard catch-and-run touchdown where he just dusted the whole Kansas State secondary. Really happy to see Todd Harris run around. He looked great wearing number 4, filled out the uniform. This guy who's been around, battled a bunch of injuries, led LSU with 9 tackles. There were some individual things that were really good last night that you'd like to see. But overall, it was just a final illustration of the wasteland that Ed Orgeron has left. His complete and total incompetence and negligence left LSU with 38 football players to play in a bowl game after a 6-6 season, 2 years removed from a national title. He couldn't manage a roster, and he didn't have enough respect for himself or the program to manage it, to manage the roster, the program as a whole, to avoid this type of situation. And now you're in the situation where you are, where Brian Kelly's taking over and Ed Orgeron's on a beach and he'll never be a head coach again for sure. And it's unreal that there's still some people defending Ed Orgeron after what we've seen unfold here over this season and certainly over the last 60 days or so. But LSU's better for it. They're going to be better for it long term. Last night was a disaster, no way around it. I tip my cap to all the players that played their ass off and went out and gave it their all. Probably a game that shouldn't have been played. The result, somewhat inconsequential. The Kansas State fans peacocking is absolutely nauseating. That is one of the worst programs in the history of college football, an all-time losing record. Kansas State has an all-time losing record. That's why, to them, winning the Texas Bowl over an LSU team with 38 scholarship players matters because they don't have much in their career and their history that actually matters. So congrats on your Texas Bowl win against a completely decimated football team. Enjoy irrelevance for the rest of your existence. LSU will be back on top soon. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.